Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about 3 important steps to learn English or any language for that matter. These are the 3 basic steps which are required to learn a language and English in particular. Because I'm sure if you're watching me, then you must be looking forward to English speaking fluently and confidently. Yes, you're at the right place. I am your communications trainer or your soft skill trainer, and I'm going to tell you how to talk in English fluently and confidently. And that's why today I've come up with the basics of learning English, which are the 3 steps which I'm going to talk about in a bit in this video. Let's see what these 3 steps are, or 3 basic steps or prerequisites are. The first is reading, listening, and the third is speaking. Guys, these 3 things are very important, and it is a thumb rule to learn any language. You should know reading, you should know how to listen, and you should know how to speak. So reading, listening, and speaking. These are the 3 steps which will help you to learn English. Today I'm going to talk about why it is important. I mean the 3 steps, why these 3 steps are important. So I'm going to take it individually, like why reading is important, why listening is important, why speaking is important. Coming to the second point, we will discuss about how it will benefit us to learn English or to speak English fluently and confidently. And third point we are going to discuss in this video, which is an additional tip which will help you to understand, how to read or what to read, and how to listen or what to listen to, and how to practice speaking. So that is a bonus tip which is at the end of the video. So keep watching my video till the end so that you don't miss out on any points. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe my channel, give me a thumbs up, and share my videos for better reach. So the first step is reading. Guys, reading is very important. Now I'm going to discuss why reading is important. Reading means anything, whichever interests you, you can read. But it's just that I'll just add a little bit of twist here. So for instance, if you are reading a newspaper and you are reading a comic book, so what is the difference between the two? Reading a newspaper will help you to gain a lot of knowledge, right? So you'll get to know the current affairs, the general knowledge if you're preparing for any entrance examinations, or if you're a student, or whatever, if you are in a company also. So probably at times you have to go and speak and talk to your team, and also if you're updated on recent topics and all, it's always better that you can go and speak about it if you have that knowledge. So the first thing is, if you read, you will gain a lot of knowledge out of it, right? But reading right. So probably if you're reading a newspaper or reading a good book, motivational book, or for that matter anything, so just you can gain a lot of knowledge out of it. The second thing is, when you read, you get to know a lot of new words. Okay, so you can collect those words and you can start looking up at the dictionary so that you can start using those words. Once you know those words and their meanings, then you can start using those words. So it will help you to build your vocabulary. So second important thing is, it will help you build your vocabulary. Third thing is, when you read, you will get to know how sentences are constructed, right? In simple form, in complex forms. So newspapers, editorials, if you look at, there are complex sentences also. It's little difficult to read, but then there are simple sentences as well. So you will be able to analyze what are simple sentences, what are complex sentences, what are little easy to understand, what is little difficult to understand. So you'll get a sense of that as well, right? So that is why reading is very important. Coming to listening. Now, why it is important to listen, or why listening is very important skill to learn a language. Now when you listen to somebody, you can see the expressions, you can see the body language, you can try to understand how the person is speaking, right? So the lip movement, the tongue movement, the expressions, the hand movement, the body language tells you a lot, right? So if you don't understand a language, or you understand it a little lesser also, when you see somebody speaking or expressing themselves, probably one or two words or with the expressions you will be able to make out, right? So that is why listening is very important. When you listen to somebody, you get to know the idea of like what the person is speaking about. Okay, the pronunciation, how the person is pronouncing, what is the person's body language, how the person is interacting with the other person, right? So these are the things which we get to learn while listening to. And the most important thing about listening is we are getting used to with the language. When we listen to something, we just get used to with the language. Okay, so it will register more to us. So that is why listening is very important along with reading. Okay, if you take one thing only and you ignore the other thing, I'll say no. It is a combined effort or effect of both the things which will help you to learn and improve. Coming to the third point, which is speaking. Now guys, of course, it's always the same that when we say कि theory पढ़ के आप practical नहीं कर सकते, right? आपने theory सब पढ़ी है, सब कुछ आपको पता है, but आपको आकर के कह दिया जाए कि आप practical करके दिखाओ, so it will be difficult for you because you have not practiced it. आपने कभी practice नहीं किया, उसको आप कैसे कर सकते हो? The same thing is with, जैसे कि हम college student रहते हैं, हमने सारी सब चीज़ें पढ़ी है, MBA के स्टूडेंट है, हमने सब पढ़ लिया है, HR में, मार्केटिंग में, सब फिनेंस में सब पढ़ लिया है. अब आपको जब जॉब लगती है तो फर्स्ट डे से आप काम करना नहीं शुरू कर देते हो, राइट? It's the same. That is the difference between theory and practical. And the same is here with English. You know how to read, you know how to speak, and you know how to write for that matter. But it's not easy to speak if you know all those things. So for speaking, we have to practice. Okay, and that is why speaking is a very important skill to learn. You have to learn the skill and then you can speak English, right? That is how it is. Now, what will this help? How will this help us? So when we speak, we put forward our thoughts, right? So whatever thoughts we have, what expressions and ideas we put forward, right? So that is why speaking is important. आपको सब पता है, आपसे कोई कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, आप बता ही नहीं पा रहे हो, you know everything, सब पता है आपको, आप लिख के दे सकते हो, आप बता सकते हो उनको, पर आप speak, you're not able to speak in English, या आप अपने आइडियाज़ को ट्रांसलेट नहीं कर पा रहे हो बोलने के ज़रिए. So you have to learn that. Just to put forward your expressions or thoughts or ideas, you have to know how to speak. Okay, so this is the most important thing about speaking, why it is important. Second thing is, it will develop your personality. When you start speaking to people and interacting with people and putting forward your ideas, so the people will also, recognize you, and it will help you in your overall personality development. And as I said, people will recognize you in your office, in your college. People will recognize you, oh, this person speaks, very good. So let's call him to lead the team or to lead something, probably a convocation or another program which is there in the college. So that is why, the personality development and recognition goes hand in hand. So speaking is something which help you to develop all these skills. So that is why speaking is very important. Now, coming to our second point, which is how it will help us. So the second point we are going to talk about is how it's going to benefit us in learning English or in learning to speak in English fluently and confidently. Now guys, coming to reading, as I told you, So if you read a lot, you'll get a lot of vocabulary, you'll get to know a lot of sentence structures like simple sentences, complex sentences, and how they're used and how they're written to express the ideas or to express things, right? So you'll get to know a lot of vocabulary, you'll get to know a lot of sentence structures, and it will increase your knowledge. So if tomorrow you are asked to speak something in English, you will have enough material or enough knowledge about that thing, so that when you come up tomorrow, to speak up, you can speak effortlessly, right? So that is the importance of reading in relation to English speaking. Okay, coming to the listening skills, why it is important to, to improve your listening skills to speak English fluently and confidently. Again, the same concept. So when you listen to people, you'll get to know how the accent probably, and I'm not talking about UK or US or Australian or Canadian accent. I'm sorry guys, I don't believe in the accent thing. I think whatever we are gifted is something which we need to appreciate, and we need to speak up on that. If you're going slow and if you're able to talk to people properly, or translate your ideas to others, it's well and good. Nothing more you have to do. Whether the person is a US guy or a American or a British, that's okay. The only thing is you need to communicate. The other person need to understand you. That's it. So you learn how to use the words, its pronunciation, and how the person speaks, the expressions, the body language, the hand movement, the lip movement. So all those things you will be able to, learn, and you'll get used to with the language also. It will be easier for you to come up and start speaking, right? So that is why listening is very important. And while listening, you can correct yourself as well. You know how other person is speaking and how you are speaking. Now you have that parameter, and then you can gradually correct yourself. So that is the importance of listening. Coming to the third point which I have spoken about is speaking. Now how this will benefit to our learning English, to speak fluently and confidently. Of course, when you speak, you practice, right? When you start speaking, you will develop your communication skills, you will develop your confidence, you will develop your fluency in different levels, right? Initially, probably you will not be very fluent. You will just start speaking. Probably your sentence construction will not be good. Your pronunciation might not be very good. I won't talk about grammar here, guys. So let's leave grammar aside right now. Okay, so probably you will not be very confident, very fluent, and very good in sentence construction and pronunciations. But then when you adopt everything, like you read, you listen and speak, so that is probably a practice which you are doing every day, and in return you are going to get the benefit, and you are going to see the results later. Okay, so once you gain the confidence, when you gain that fluency, you will understand the steps and the way you are improving. So speaking is very important. Speaking is basically a practice. You are practicing yourself or putting yourself to practice speaking English. So that is where speaking is very important. But you have to combine all three, and you have to make a routine every day that you have to read, listen and speak. These are the 3 steps which you have to incorporate in your life, in your daily routine every day, and you will see the difference. Now, the third point I said is a bonus tip which I am going to give you. Now, a lot of us might have a question what to read or what to listen to or how to speak, practice speaking. So don't worry, whatever is there in your home or at home available, you can start taking that and start reading that. I'll prefer a newspaper. I think everybody, has in the morning gets a newspaper, right, at home, delivered at home. So probably you start taking up a newspaper, start reading an editorial or any there are sports, there is uh, Hollywood, Bollywood news, there's sports news, there's political news, there's probably other news, economical news, and a lot of news stuffs are there. So whatever is in your interest, take the section and start reading. Okay, so that is the best available option you have at home, the newspaper. So start taking up a newspaper and read it daily for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or probably one article every day. Okay, coming to the listening thing, what you can do is, अभी तो वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा है गाइज, आप इंग्लिश कॉमेंट्री वाला देख लो. ओके, सो स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट, इंग्लिश कॉमेंट्री देख लो वर्ल्ड कप की. नहीं तो भी कोई BBC न्यूज़ लगा लो, राइट, इंग्लिश न्यूज़ चैनल कोई लगा लो, वो थोड़ा सा सुन लो थोड़ी देर. इंग्लिश ठीक है, BBC का थोड़ा सा एक्सेंट डिफरेंट होगा, आपको थोड़ी मुश्किल होगी. आप इंडियन न्यूज़ चैनल्स हैं, इंग्लिश न्यूज़ चैनल्स हैं, CNBC है, आई डोंट नो व्हाट नॉट, प्रॉब्ली इंडिया टुडे है. So what all channels are there? Okay, so just listen to the news, not the debates probably. So listen to the news for some time. सुबह वो लोग आकर के बात बताते हैं आपको न्यूज़, दोपहर में आती है न्यूज़, इवनिंग में आती है न्यूज़, तो वो पार्ट आप सुन लो बस. ओके, इट विल जस्ट मेक यू familiar with the language and its construction and its vocabulary and the way it is spoken. That's it guys. बस यही आपको करना है और कुछ नहीं करना है. And coming to the practice thing, I have already spoken about the mirror practice, the imitation practice, and the jam practice. So it's all there in my videos. Go check out my videos to know more about these things. Happy learning.